So I decided I'm going to do 3 things this year. I usually don't do this. This is a little odd. But I'm going to edit more, I'm going to write more, and I'm going to actually finish stories. I have a problem with this. This should not be a problem. But yeah, last night I started a new story, which I think is going to be kind of cool. Basically, this girl wakes up in a hotel room, and she knows the night before she was studying, cramming for an exam, and she wakes up and she finds this wallet, and she's not that person in the wallet, but everyone is treating her like she is. And she doesn't have any evidence that this is not her, so it's kind of just her figuring out, what do I do? So that's basically the thing. I had fallen asleep on 3 textbooks in my apartment study room, in my lazy jeans and blue flannel shirt. My desk lamp was on, and my journal and pen under my hand, cramming for my Euro history exam. That was 8 a.m. the next morning. There were no windows in my room, and I kept the door closed. Which is why when I awoke to a room full of light on a bed, I was more than a little confused. There was a window and the blinds were open. I thought maybe my roommate had moved into my bed or something, but then I realized I was in a hotel room. I stood up. I was in a short, dark, teal cocktail dress with 2-inch stilettos to match, mousse still in my crispy hair, and makeup smeared across my face. My nails, usually never painted, often chipped, were pristine clean, French tips done less than 24 hours previously. Why was I so dolled up? I was an English major. I spent my nights in coffee shops reading Auden and Baudelaire at 3 a.m. I didn't go out to the clubs for dancing every weekend. I spied a clutch purse on the nightstand. A bright blue wallet and a ticket to La Boheme from last night at the New York Opera was in it. Inside the wallet was a picture that could barely be said to resemble me. Lavina Ginsburg, age 20, Boston, Massachusetts. Green eyes, thick brown hair, 5'3". I flipped through the rest of the wallet. A few credit cards, a library and gym card, some receipts. The wallet was that plasticky kind that you see among all the sorority girls' bags and wallets made by Chanel. Nothing else was in the wallet. I couldn't find any of my normal belongings. My black messenger bag that always held a novel keys in my wallet at the bare minimum had no evidence as to the fact that this was in fact not me. I was Calico Teas. I was 5'7", brown-eyed, straight-haired brunette, and I lived in Seattle, but I had no evidence of this. A sound came from the door. I quickly crammed the wallet and ticket back in the purse, putting it back on the nightstand. The door opened, revealing a well-dressed young man. "Hey, Levy, so you want to hit the road by 10:30? I glanced at the clock on the wall, reading 10 a.m. My eyes nearly popped out of my skull. I was probably in New York, basing on the ticket, miles away from Seattle University, where my Euro history exam was taking place in an hour. I frowned. Yeah, sure. Give me 20 minutes or so." "Okay, I'll be back around then. Take your time." He left the room. What was going on? I tried to shake my head of it and took a quick shower. Returning, I found a small bag in the corner. A change of leggings, black ballet flats, and a faded blue t-shirt lay on it, along with some toiletries. Oh god. I was one of those girls? I quickly put on the flats and leggings, keeping the dress on. I washed the makeup smear off my face and got ready. In the bag there was also an iPhone. I tracked my location. Upper East Side of New York City. There had to be a store nearby where I could at least buy a skirt or jeans. Mapped out nearby stores and found there was a Macy's nearby. I grabbed all my things, finding a hotel key on the counter, leaving in a flash. I ran down the stairs and outside. The bright Macy's sign was obvious to anyone within about 3 blocks. I bolted up to the 3rd floor, scanning the racks for an appropriate skirt or pair of jeans. Found an acceptable skirt, plain black, similar to what I would wear to a poetry reading. I quickly purchased it, running back to the hotel room, changing quickly and stuffing the dress and heels into the overnight bag. I brushed out my hair, pulling it back into a ponytail. This was the closest I was going to get to normal, or at least what I was perceiving as normal. A knock came from the door. "Come in," I tried to say brightly. "I'm ready." I grabbed the clutch purse and overnight bag. "Lovely," he smiled. "Let me get your bag for you." He took it in one hand, opening the door for me, flicking out the lights and locking the hotel room door behind him. He pecked me on the lips, smiling. "I've had an amazing time. Thank you for letting me steal you." He flounced down the stairs and checked out and walked to where the bus station stood on 32nd Street. He handed a bus ticket to me. Christopher Beville, departure 10:40 a.m., arrival 2:40 p.m., Boston South Station, 700 Atlantic Avenue, Boston, Massachusetts, megabus. Okay, so Boston. Sorority girl. Christopher was presumably my boyfriend and had purchased the Auburn bus ticket for me and taken me out the night before. I grabbed the iPhone from the purse. I found out that I did have a Facebook app on it. I pressed it lightly, going to my main page, clicking Interests. Studies at Boston University, lives in Boston, Massachusetts, born April 20th, 1990, in a relationship with Chris Beville, religious views, Jewish, political views, liberal, music, Muse, Owl City, Elton John, Caribou, Beatles, opera, Beethoven, Regina Spektor, The Shins, American Analog Set. Books, Harry Potter, Jane Austen. Movies, Titanic, Pretty in Pink, The Breakfast Club, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, Fight Club, Snatch, Up and Under. TV, 90210, Gossip Girl, House, Firefly. Activities, Alpha Epsilon Pi, rugby, watching football, kickboxing. Okay, so fairly good music interests, big film buff, not afraid to get a little mussed up as seen from her interest in rugby. Looking through my tagged pictures, I appeared to be enough of a narcissist to put most of my life online. On my class schedule, I googled all the classes. Apparently I had finished classes for the most part last night, went to La Boheme as a celebration. I still had an exam at 3 p.m., but my prof said that we just had to sign a piece of paper and that was the exam. The bus pulled up, we filed into a line, and were soon sorted onto the bus. So that is the gist of it. Clearly I will still be needing to finish it and get lots of editing done and such, but that is kind of how it stands at the moment. So, I hope you enjoyed me reading you a story. Good night.